Welcome back. In this video we're going to look at a neutralization reaction. And a neutralization reaction neutralizes an acid with a base. So it's a combination between an acid and a base. So if we start with an example here, I have hydrochloric acid, HCl. Remember, it's a strong acid, it's aqueous, it breaks apart, it totally dissociates in water. And we have a strong base, sodium hydroxide, and it also will dissociate perfectly in water. It completely breaks up apart into ions. So if you have a solution of HCl and a solution of NaOH and you put them together, it's like any ionic reaction because they will all break apart into ions. So what will you get as a result? The cation from the first will join with the anion of the second, and vice versa, and so you end up with a reaction of H from the acid with OH from the base, which is water. And then you end up with the sodium from the base joining with the chlorine from the acid, and that's table salt, NaCl. So this is the basic formula that I want you to know, which is a strong acid plus a strong base will neutralize to form water and a salt. Okay, so the first thing that we do always when we're doing a net ionic equation is we make sure it's balanced. And this happens to be balanced already, so we can keep going. Let me first of all define what a salt is. A salt is any ionic compound whose cation comes from the base, in this case the sodium, and whose anion comes from the acid, that's the Cl. So it's whatever is left over after you make the water. So a salt can be anything, any cation, any anion added together ionically as a result of an acid-base reaction. And that's how salt is made. That's how the salt in the ocean is made. So when we start an ionic equation, we break everything into ions. So hydrochloric acid is a strong electrolyte, so it breaks apart as to H and Cl. Sodium hydroxide is a strong electrolyte, so it breaks apart into Na and OH. And when they join again, you'll end up with water, which is a liquid. Now, since it's in the water, it doesn't fall out. It's not a precipitate, and it doesn't bubble out as a gas, but it is a product. It is water. There's more water than there used to be. And then in that water, you're going to have salt. You're going to have sodium and chloride still as ions floating around in that water. So you'll end up with what we expected, water plus sodium chloride. Like any net ionic equation, we look for spectator ions. We look for ions that are the same on both sides of the reaction. In this case, we have chlorine ions and sodium ions, and those can be totally ignored. And when you ignore them, what you have left is the hydrogen ion, the hydroxide ion, making water. And so what's actually being made or produced in a neutralization reaction is water. Hydrogen proton plus hydroxide ion yields water. In the process, acid and base is neutralized. It's what happens in your stomach. It's what happens in a pond or an ocean environment. So it's very, very important. I'd like you to look at this as much as you need to so that you can understand. Thank you.